everyone, this is Christy with the Garden Tower again, and sorry this is a little bit later than normal. I was trying to let it cool off a little bit for me to be out working on stuff today. So what we're going to talk about today is trellising, trellising your plants and staking your plants. So I'll give you some examples of how I do it, and then some other kind of tips, tricks of things that I do as well. So, as you can see already, I did a couple to get things started. So this is one of those, like they're usually three-sided, that they fold up cages that you can put around something. I obviously cut one of the pieces off, or took one of the pieces off. And I like to use these for peas. And so I have a pea here that definitely needs to be trellised. So normally, you do it no different than you would if you were doing it in a garden. You kind of try to get them to lean up against the pieces that you're wanting them to trellis up on. So I'm going to do that here. Peas have these little tendrils, and they reach out and try to grab onto everything. And so I usually twist those around and let them start doing it on their own. Now, if you were going to do a regular stake, which is what I'm doing with my beans, so let me turn this around. So, as you can see, my beans are getting pretty large here. So I already put one in the ground, or one in here, so I'll do this one and show you how I do it. So I use these stakes. They look like rebar, but they're not really rebar. And they have little nubs on them that allow things to hold on to and for you to attach string and stuff to. So I put this in as close to the base of the bean as I can. This is a 6-foot stake, so it's going down quite a ways, but I need it to stay up pretty tall because you can see these beans are already getting really, really tall, so I might have to adjust this and pull it up even farther for these beans. So I just wrap the beans right around that. Now, if you have something that's a little unwieldy, like it's not like these beans and peas that will do this on their own, I use these soft ties, and the reason I use these is, one, you can bend them into any shape that you want, but two, it keeps it from pinching the plant itself, so it won't cut into it. And these are easy to cut. So you can just grab a piece, however long you need, a pair of scissors, cut it off. Sorry about the dogs in the background. And then if these weren't working well, you just come up around here and you can just twist it together. And then that'll hold that onto the post. The other thing that you can do, let me grab my string here, is take some twine. So if you don't have cages like this, or this might be a little too far apart for some of that, so I might do some of this on there too. So you take some twine, and you can just tie it on. And then you create your own lattice work. So you would, try not to tie your plants up with it. And I usually go around again, and then come back to this side and go around as a diagonal. And then come back over to this side, do the same thing. So you're basically creating a ladder. This works really well for peas because they like to, grab a hold of stuff and climb. So that's how I do that. I'm going to go ahead and cut this. I was trying to see your comments this time in case you have questions, and it doesn't seem that it's coming up for me this time. So I will answer any of your questions that you have after we're done with the video. Now the other thing, obviously, staking and planting, oh, it's still very hot out. Staking and planting in the top is pretty self-explanatory. I mean, it's no different than putting it straight on the ground. But what if you have stuff on the sides that you want to stake or trellis away? So I have a smaller stake. This is, I think, 3 feet. Yeah, about 3 feet. And all you would do, though I don't have anything out in the tops or the sides on this tower that really needs staked. But if I wanted to, actually, why don't we do this? This P, for instance, so you put this in and you put it in at an angle, so it goes down into the dirt at an angle. I'm going to grab another one. We're going to put that one down at an angle. And then we're going to grab this twine again, over on this side. Tie that on. And these little nubs on these stakes are really good because they keep this twine from sliding. So I'm just going to go that far for now instead of doing the whole thing while you guys are watching. Then I'm going to go ahead and undo my piece from here. Take this out. And then you can train the peas to climb over here. And then as these other pieces get long enough to connect, then you can keep moving it farther and farther over. But now, this will try to climb up this instead of falling in here or making it too tall. And this is the same way you would do it if you were doing vegetables, like vining plants on the bottom. You just put them out by themselves, or stake them at an angle out from there, and either add something like this or find a piece of trellis that can go in easily. When you're doing it at an angle on the sides, it's easier to use the poles. And then my tomatoes, actually I'm not sure they even need staked. These are pretty stout and strong, but I'm going to go ahead and stake one. So tomatoes, you come in just like on the beans, and you try to put this, not too close so you're going to disturb the root, or the main root, but just along the side like that. And then you'll take a piece, like I use this pretty exclusively, and we sell this as well. And you come around there and very gently twist that up. And then that will keep, then as it gets taller, you can add more so it keeps straight as it goes up. So there really isn't that much that's difficult about trellising. The only thing that you have to watch out for is if you do the ones on the sides, obviously if you're turning the tower, they're going to stick out. So you want to make sure that you're not going to hit anything with them, or you have it in an area where it doesn't need to turn anymore. So that's the simple, oops, got some kale there that I knocked off. That's the simple way of trellising and staking your plants in the tower. It's not very difficult at all, and it's not much different than doing it in the ground. So, sorry this is so short today. There's not a lot to go over, and it's really, really hot. So, if you have any questions, go ahead and post them on this video, and once we put it live, then I'll go ahead and answer those questions as fast as I can. So, thanks everybody, and have a great rest of your weekend and a wonderful Mother's Day. Bye.